Hello there, this is BugPowderDust. Thank you for joining me for a new occasional series called Distinctly Average. Why is it called Distinctly Average? Because I am distinctly average at World of Tanks. I've been playing World of Tanks since the beta. I think I clocked about 1,000 games in the beta, just short of 1,000 games actually, because I didn't get the reward Sherman tank they gave to everybody, which is I'm a bit gutted at the time. But I've played about 10,300 games now, and this YouTube channel was primarily set up to be a World of Tanks channel, and I've done a few World of Tanks videos, but I then kind of stepped away from World of Tanks, never really stepped back properly, don't play it half as much, or even a quarter as much as I used to, and but what I wanted to do was basically just highlight a few games now and again when I've played games which are, for me, slightly above average. Probably won't be amazing, huge amounts of damage done, or any amazing flights of daring do, but there'll be good solid games, and hopefully they'll be entertaining, even if nothing super exciting happens. So there's going to be two games today, both Tier 8 medium tanks. One is the Centurion Mark 1, which I've only just got, and I've kind of partially upgraded it. You can see that I've got the best gun. I've got the Black Prince, so I had the 17-pounder, but this gun really is a huge difference. I mean, if you look at that, it's 226 pen, 230 damage. It aims quite quickly. It's got really good accuracy, and its speed of fire is actually really good. So I don't have the best radio or the best engine, just the middle one. And I think came over from the Black Prince as well. No, it came over from the Comet actually, which obviously I had to unlock to get to this tank. And the best tracks. So I'm not really that experienced with this tank. I've maybe played 5 or 6 games in it, but the gun is absolutely fantastic, and I do enjoy playing medium tanks. The other game we'll be showing you is a Type 59 game. Let me just switch over to show you that. I'm sure you need no introduction to the Type 59. Subject to much controversy. It's not the tank it used to be. I bought it when it was flavour of the month basically, but it's a good solid Tier 8 medium tank. So let's get on with the games. So here we are. The map is Serene Coast. I'm playing on my own. I'm not in platoon or anything like that. Teams are fairly well balanced. They do have more Tier 8 heavies than we do. We have been balanced out with an extra Tier 8 TD, and we have some more Tier 7 heavies than they do by 1. So it's kind of balanced, to be honest. And so we'll see what we do. Now, normally in a medium tank, or a tank that's quite lightly armoured, you don't want to go up the 9 line, which is basically where the heavy tanks tend to duke it out. Now, I don't have any armour on this tank, really, whatsoever, so I need to play a little bit carefully. Got great manoeuvrability, good gun depression, and as I said, the gun is excellent. What I'm going to do is basically turn down the sound, which I think is probably a little bit too loud. I don't want it blocking out... Oops. Don't want it blocking out what I've got to say. So I'm going up the medium line, effectively the 2 line here, and it's actually really good that I've got some company. So I've got the Tier 8 4502A, which is a really nice heavy tank. It's more of a medium than a heavy, and we readily spot that we've got the AMX 5100, which we're going to face, which makes me a little bit worried, because it's a very, very good tank in capable hands. Do a lot of damage. It has its downsides. I mean, it is an autoloader, which means you have to really control the battle. So you've got to be able to withdraw to reload and have that kind of space between you and the enemy. We've also got FCM 50, so we've got 2 of their 4 Tier 8 heavies to face. I'm a little bit hesitant about pushing forward. I just don't have the armour, so I need to kind of hang back and play a bit smart. So the gun's accuracy really shows out there. Get a good hit on the AMX, which to be honest doesn't have a great deal of armour either. So on this side of the map we've got me, the 4502A, we've got 3 ISs, so that's the 3 Tier 7 heavies we've got backing us up, facing 3 of their Tier 8 heavies, 3 of their 4 Tier 8 heavies. We don't know where the IS-3 is, but we can see on the mini-map that it's over in D8, so we know we're not going to be facing that for the foreseeable future. So we have an advantage in numbers, but not necessarily tiers. And certainly my armour isn't worth a damn. So the game hasn't started well for us. We're 3 tanks down, or admittedly light tanks, and that was a poor shot from me. I really should have aimed at his Commander Cupola, but I missed the shot. I rushed it basically. So they're playing peekaboo, we're playing peekaboo. There is 2 artillery on play on either side, and I'm a little bit worried about this. any smart artillery player will probably go for me being a very lightly armoured tank, but they do seem to be concentrating more on the other heavies, which are more clustered together, and that's fine. Frankly, I don't even know if they can spot me yet. Certainly the Tiger spotted me, and would spot me when he comes up over here. But other than the Tiger, I've got a couple of bushes between me and the FCM, so it's entirely possible they haven't spotted me. I don't have sixth sense on this tank yet, sadly. You'll notice now that the right flank has completely collapsed. There is the IS-3 over there, along with the T-150 we can see from the minimap, but we have a real problem over there. I don't spot this in the game just yet. I'll take the opportunity to take a pop at this Stuart E-mill, and I quickly withdraw. They do almost 500 damage per shot, and that's something that I need to be quite concerned about. That'll be a third of my health gone in one hit. So the Tiger II takes a big hit, but does take out one of our ISs. But we still have the numerical advantage, and we are kind of wearing them down. So I'm seeing if I can maybe get a shot on the Black Prince, but there's a big boulder between me and him, so I can't. At this point I don't realise the Stuart E-mill has been killed, so I'm a little bit cautious about poking up over there, because I'm sure he's seen me by now. I'll keep looking forward just to make sure that the Tiger II and the FCM, and indeed the AMX, don't pop up and shoot me in the side, but they are being kept busy by my teammates, which is great for me, and it gives me the flexibility to kind of scout out, see what I can get, with, see what I can hit with this accurate gun. I spot an IS, I see an opportunity. The gun doesn't let me down, I pop one into his turret. So now at this point I realise that we're actually going to win this side quite handily. I'm thinking, shall I pop up, take a pop at the Tiger 88, maybe I push up here, and then I realise now, coming up very shortly, that our base is being run over. I should have paid more attention to the minimap before now. I'm the medium, so it's down to me to kind of relocate and get back should I need to. At this point, now I realise that our base is in danger of being overrun by the two T-150s and possibly the IS-3 as well. And we've got the Rheinmetall and Tiger II in the vicinity, but I don't know if they're going to go back or not. You can't really rely on other people in this game if you're not platooned with them, so I decide I'm going to go back. Now you can see from the base capture marker that there's only one person capturing. So I do have a little bit of time, I've got a minute and a half to get back. I don't have the top engine in this tank, and you see that it's not as fast to relocate as it could be, which is kind of a shame. But I do notice that the Rheinmetall Baltzig and the Tiger II have gone back. Rheinmetall Baltzig makes a mistake there by going up over the tracks, and he hasn't got any armour, so he was exposing himself. But I'm thinking, I've got full health, I haven't really done a great deal this game, so I'm going to pop over there and take the risk of getting shot by the IS-3, which is, you'll see, in F4. But I need to kill this T-150 fast. You'll see the IS-3 just missed me. So I keep moving, the IS-3 is behind a rock. He now doesn't have a shot on me, and his reload is about 10 to 11 seconds. So I'm going to go round. IS-3 is still quite a dangerous opponent. We only have the Tiger II here, and if I look, the Tiger II is on, well, he's on half health. 3 hits on the IS-3 would kill him. So anyway, so I'm going to go around, try and spot the IS-3 and finish this game. In the north, we've basically won this now. So you notice that I'm using this mound to put me a little bit hull down, but what I've done, I made the mistake here, I've not angled myself properly, I've over-angled, and I'm now exposing the rear of my tank to his shots. However, I cannot shoot him significantly. He bounces off my gun mantlet, as you can see, which is strong enough, and I put another shot into him. He's also getting hit by the, actually I don't know what's hitting him, probably the Tiger II, but the damage is quite low. And also the FVRT. So again, I'm moving backwards and forwards, and again I'm still over-angled. If I just pause it there, you'll see that he's hit me. See, if I just go up there, he's hit me twice in the back because I was over-angling. Very stupid of me to do that, and I took unnecessary damage there. If I'd angled a little bit less, he probably would have bounced, even though my side armour is lousy, and all he would have to shoot is my gun mantlet, which as you saw is pretty strong. So killing the IS-3, that was it, game over. Okay, so let's take a look at the post-game stats. You'll see that I got a Mastery 2 badge, which is not that special, distinctly average in fact. I'm not playing Premium at the moment, so I got 3,000 experience, which was a double, so that's not too bad, getting 1,500 base experience. You can see I managed to actually damage quite a few of the tanks. I came top in the amount of experience I had, or joint top actually, both got 963. I did second best damage. The IZU-152 pit me to it with that monster cannon he's got. And on the final tab, you'll see some more stats, but really I earned 34,000 silver, which is pretty solid, and received, as I said, 3,000 experience in total, more or less, which is pretty good. So here we are on Pearl River. I am platooned with my good friend Watlanka in the Type 59. It's a Tier 8 premium tank, medium premium tank, which is no longer available, and was subject to much controversy when it first came out. They were very capable tanks, really bouncy from the front, and it led to them being nerfed and then slightly buffed. So the nerf was the armour, I think, got reduced, but the buff was the gun, I think, got a slightly more penetration. What's the penetration of the gun now? It's trying to see. There we go. 181 penetration, 250 damage. So it's not a bad gun, very capable. Nice fast tank. So what myself and Watlanka are doing is we're basically rushing to try and get to a point where we can get them in a crossfire as they rush up to try and get into the hills round about the B7 area. The teams are we do have the advantage in player skill if you put any stock in the XVM colours. So we do have slightly better players, but they do have a Unicum, a blue player, a blue Unicum, I guess. So that will certainly help them out. He's in a very capable tank, the STA, very nice tank. So Watlanka is in the lead, and he manages to spot the STA, their best player. And he gets a good hit, but takes a hit in return from him and the AMX as well. So I decide to weigh in. Now there's an IZU-152 in the background there, and he's in a really good spot to maybe take a shot at us. So you have to be really careful. He can do 800 damage with the BL-10 Uber cannon. I back up there because I thought they might try and rush in on us, but because the AMX is, again, it's a dangerous tank that can penetrate us all day long. But he bounces off Watlanka. The ST, I think, decides he wants to try and go round, but he's deterred by the Tiger and the IS-3 behind us, so he decides that's probably a really bad idea because he hasn't got much armour. Like the Centurion, it's got a good gun, good mobility, but hasn't got any armour. So he's backing up the hill. I don't really understand what he was doing there, but he allows me to get a good hit into his side and put it straight through. So they become despotted, and I'm not entirely sure what they plan to do, but we can't move until this IZU is killed, because with that gun, it has got a massively long reload. I see the Arty hit it, and I'm thinking he's probably going to back up. He's not going to stay out in the open after Arty's just dealt him a blow, and sure enough, that's what happens. So we take the opportunity to push up, and I'm kind of waiting for him to keep backing up, and he does seem to keep backing up, and I decide that I'm going to put in a blind shot. As it turns out, that blind shot didn't do any damage, but it did track him. But I'm unaware of that until the end the game stats. So at this point, Watlanka calls out, he says that we need to go round to the south and loop around kind of clockwise to where the comet is, because he's somewhat outnumbered. He's got a good point. There's more than enough tanks here to go north to deal with the IZU, so we basically push round. At this point, when we've got a little bit of a breather, we see that we actually haven't lost any tanks yet, and it's 4-0, but to be honest, that can change really quickly in a matter of seconds. So we push up. Now, Watlanka is a lot more of an aggressive player than I am, and sometimes that works out for him, and sometimes it doesn't. But I'm a lot more cautious, and I think that's probably why I'll never be a Blue Unicum or a Unicum player. I think I'm far too cautious, and that sometimes doesn't help me at all. I misunderstood what he wanted to do here, so I thought he was going to push straight through, but it turns out he didn't, so we back up. It's really hard to know when the MX is reloaded or not, so we're kind of waiting for him to make his move. Artillery takes a shot. Fortunately, it's only splash damage, but it does track me. But my crew's pretty good, so I get the track back up quite quickly. And I support Watlanka from back here, because there's no point in us both being on that corner. I back up to avoid the return fire. And again, I put another shot into the AMX's roof, that we can see, getting the killing blow. It's now 8-0, and it was quite a surprise for me that this game was going to go this way, because so the teams weren't that far apart from each other. I see that the left flank has now collapsed. Well, hasn't collapsed, but there's almost nobody over there. The Hellcat is a tier 6 TD. It used to be extremely good. They've nerfed it slightly. I don't know what it's like these days, but the point is it's looking like it's the Hellcat versus Nashorn and the M6. The A43 for some reason has just gone in for the cap. I don't really understand why. but I need to get over there because we also have an AT-15A approaching our base. Now I'm fairly confident in a medium tank that I can one-on-one deal with the AT, even though he's got very heavy front armour, so I'm going to go for it. I'm not entirely sure where he'd be. I could have turned left here, but I don't want to face him frontally. I want to try and get behind him if possible, so I'm going to go up this way instead. And up pops an M6. I've got nothing to worry about from the M6. Put in a speculative shot, angle my tank. The shot goes in, I was quite lucky. So I'm going to go up to deal with the M6. I'm really confident that he can't do much to affect me. So in I go. I'm just being cautious for the sake of it, because I don't know what's behind him. Get a reload and finish him. No real problem. So where's the AT-15? I can either turn right or left here, and I'm really not sure. I'm thinking, well, would he have gone back? He'd have gone up to our base or turned back? I thought he might have turned back. So I go this way. As it turns out, he hasn't. They're capping, and I know the Nash one wouldn't have got down here without me probably seeing him. In fact, there he is. So I know it's the AT-15 that's capping our base. And this is pretty much it. It's all over now, bar the shouting. The AT-15 puts up a reasonable fight back in the base, but what anchor finishes him off, and that's pretty much the game. So on to the post-game stats. A little bit of a whitewash, to be honest. I didn't do as well in this game as I did with the Centurion game. So damaged the STA, the M6 and the AMX M50, and I came, what did I come? I came second on experience and probably third or fourth on damage. So solid game. We only lost one tank, so that really was a hell of a pushover, which is odd. It shouldn't have been. I guess some of their tanks didn't perform as well as they should. The IS-3, for instance, didn't do anything at all. I wasn't really expecting that to be quite the pushover that it was. On the detailed report, not a bad earn. I probably earned as much as the Centurion game, even though I worked a lot harder in the Centurion game, did more damage, so that just shows you the earning potential of a tier 8 medium premium tank, and got well, much less experience than the Centurion game. So there we go. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please leave a like or a comment, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.